Morning, friends. Yesterday in a social media, I hit across a video of my own colleague, a retired general, who was talking about the discrediting Mahatma Gandhi and started this talk with the very famous and apt lines appropriately said by Mahatma Gandhi. दे दी हमें आज़ादी बिना खड़क बिना ढाल साबरमती के संत तूने कर दिया कमाल. And he was very vociferous and vehement in discrediting Mahatma and telling that the freedom struggle was brought by the great sacrifice of our late leader, great leader Subhash Chandra Bose and his Indian National Army. Mere dosto, my friend, nobody discredits in his right senses the sacrifice made by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose or Bhagat Singh or people alike. But let me tell you, the contribution in the freedom struggle made by our father of nation Mahatma Gandhi cannot be measured with all efforts put together by any other freedom fighter. He was by no undoubtedly was the greatest leader my country has ever produced. And in his video, he was very vociferously and mentioning the name of the great Maratha leader Bal Thackeray, that he was very vocal about maligning Mahatma and throwing aspersions on him. So today I'll be talking to you, my friends, and my topic will be maligning the Mahatma. Let me tell you that friend Bal Thackeray was by no means the first and the only person to use abusive language for Mahatma Gandhi. Many of the Gandhi's contemporaries, Indian and English, accused him of being devious, self-righteous, cunning and downright dishonest evil. His detractors were silenced by the exemplary courage he showed in his last days by bringing communal violence to end in Calcutta, you all know it, in Noakhali and in Delhi. Virtually, my friend, single-handedly and paying the price for doing so by laying down his own life. One prayed and hoped that his critiques had been silenced forever after this, after he was martyred. But here we are. It continues unabatedly, not by others but by his own countrymen. For him, the freedom was sought, and we enjoy this greatest blessing on this earth, the freedom, a free country. My friend, now let us examine some of his detractors, what they had to say about him, and if there was any substance in what they said. There was, of course, I start from Winston Churchill, who called him a willy naked fakir. He had forgiven because he did not know the man at all. Less known is what Lord Wavell, who was the Viceroy of India from 1943 to 1947, before Lord Mountbatten, immediately before him, what he had to say. Though he concealed his hatred for Gandhi in public, his revulsion from him is expressed in his personal diary, which has been published immediately after we hand over his vice regency to Lord Mountbatten. In an entry dated, I have got the copy. You also find and read it. It is available in the Google search too. In an entry dated September 26, 1946, he wrote, Gandhi at the end exposed Congress policy of dominion more nakedly than ever before. The more I see of that old man, the more I regard him as an unscrupulous and old hypocrite. He would shrink from non-violence and bloodletting to achieve his ends. Though he would naturally prefer to do so by chicanery and a false show of mildness and friendship. His one idea for 40 years has been to overthrow British rule and influence and to establish a Hindu Raj. And he is unscrupulous as he is persistent. This is what he has written, quote unquote. My friend, if Weber has to use these words, Hindustani Raj instead of Hindu Raj, I would have forgiven him as well. Weber's favorite epithets for Gandhi were malignant and malevolent by all means. He continued writing that he is an exceedingly shrewd, obstinate, single-minded politician, and there is little true saintliness in him. My friend, once again, Weber would have pardoned because he was an imperialist who was convinced that British rule was the best thing that has ever happened to India and could not understand why any Indian would want to get rid of the British at all. But it is difficult to understand, very painful to see and hear Indian criticizing the greatest son of India or the greatest son of the contemporary world of our times. They have tried to damage his status. Every day you find so many discourses, Gandhi versus Godse, Gandhi haters, Godse lover. I don't know how this people can air such views. People are trying to make his private life appear scandalous, as friend Bal Thackeray has done it many times. All videos are available. And they have vilified him endlessly. Those of us who still believe in him and have kept silent in the conviction that this is what he would have liked us to do. However, my friends, on the I want to appeal all my audiences, all my friends, let us reaffirm our faith in our greatest son of the country, Mahatma Gandhi. We call him Bapu. And let us assure at his to all his present time detractors of my country, especially India, that abusing Gandhiji is spitting at the sky. Their spit will only fall on their faces. Let me sum up my talk today by his favorite lines, the author of these great lines. You all know it. Raghupati Raghav, Raja Ram, Patita Pavan, Sita Ram, Ishwar Allah, Tero Naam, Sabko Sammati, De Bhagwan. Thank you very much.